What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Endless Voyage. If you're new here, my name is Eric. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, but I've been loving living in Thailand for about 3 years now. This week, my friend Jakub and I came up to northern Thailand. We started in Chiang Mai yesterday and are driving the Mae Hong Son Loop on motorcycle. If you've never heard of it before, it's a popular driving route that starts in Chiang Mai, goes to Mae Hong Son, and eventually through Pai and back to Chiang Mai again. You get to see a lot of the more rural and local areas of Thailand. A lot of people have done this before, and from what I've seen online, it's a very unique experience. Today is officially day 2 of our trip, but let's just say day 1 was both exciting and not what we had in mind. Yesterday, we got started late and we left Chiang Mai around noon. We headed towards Doi Intanon National Park, and although the park was beautiful, the ride back down the mountain was a little more than we bargained for.
It's not working. See, the brake doesn't work. It just stopped working right in the middle of the road as we were going down.
Alright guys, we have just finished up at the police station, and this is unfortunately one of the difficult parts about traveling and living in Thailand. I filled out the police report and I detailed exactly what happened, including the issue with the brake system on the bike. The police contacted the motorcycle shop owner, and the shop owner told them do not put in the report anything about the brake system. And so the police kept giving me a version of my report that did not include anything about the problems with the brakes. Eventually, the police relented and they put the issue about the brakes in the report, and I signed that. So at least now I have an accurate statement. For now, I'm just happy that we have a new bike. We're gonna hit the road. It's getting dark already, but we're gonna drive for about an hour and see if we can get a little closer to our next destination and get a hotel there. We have just made it to this quiet town. We drove for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we are almost out of gas. We are so lucky that we just made it here because I've got about 1 bar of gas left. And this is how you pump gas in rural Thailand. First time I've seen a system like this. So we stayed at this hotel last night. It's kind of like a camping resort almost. They've got log cabins, they've got these RVs you can stay in, and they also have normal hotel rooms. It doesn't even look like Thailand to me. It reminds me of the US, like New Hampshire or like the Pacific Northwest. Unfortunately, there aren't a ton of options at the restaurants out here. They have their menu on a sign like this on the wall. I got some pork with rice and cucumbers and the boiled egg. Where are we?
Oh, going to see some hot springs.
Are there going to be girls there?
What? Oh, she told us that there is no water because there are no people. Sarika. Hi.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after a death-defying drive up this mountain, we have arrived at the Thong Bua Thong fields. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea where we are. but we are super high up and the view is amazing. Let me show you. Wow, this is an epic sunset out here. There's not a soul to be seen anywhere. The sun is just going down now, so we need to get out of here and get a hotel before it gets too dark. So we're gonna get on the bikes and hit the road. We have made it off the mountain. We drove about 20 kilometers back into this town, just checked into a hotel. So now we just came to this restaurant to get dinner. Not too much is open in this kind of small town, so just drove down the street and found a little place here. So let's see what we can get. มีกระเพราไก่ไหม
มีครับ
Okay, กระเพราไก่ไข่ดาวได้นิดหน่อยครับ
ค่ะ
Oh, how long have you lived in Thailand?
It's been about 6 years.
Paint the picture for people. Like, explain to them what the dream is like.
Well, we have a house that's near the beach. It's been fun. Yeah, it's been a good place to live.
What happened to your shoes?
My shoes fell apart, so I'm gonna improvise Thai style.
Alright guys, we have made it to the town of Mae Hong Son. Jacob, where are we right now?
We are in this place that is making like certificates of the Mae Hong Son Loop.
Yeah, we read online that if you come to the Chamber of Commerce, you can get a certificate that testifies that you actually drove around the Mae Hong Son Loop so that you can brag to all your friends. I don't know, it's just kind of funny. So we're gonna go inside and check it out.
Now we are going to Pagoda. We are now certified bikers.
And we have arrived. This trip has been interesting because even the typical tourist traps are pretty much completely empty. I mean, maybe we've seen one or two other people from time to time, but these places are so dead. A lot of the gift shops and food places around these normal tourist attractions are just closed. Someone told me once there was a very popular movie in China that takes place in northern Thailand, and that is the reason that so many Chinese people come to northern Thailand. But obviously now with COVID and everything, there's no Chinese here, so yeah, we've got the place to ourselves. We've come to this pagoda on the top of this hill that overlooks the whole village. It's a really amazing view up here, not just in this town, but in a lot of the places we visit because the terrain is so mountainous. That being said, the view is not as good this time of year, I think, because of the burning season. It kind of ruins the view a little bit, but it's still amazing. Guys, it is so hot right now. It's the middle of the day. It's like 2:30 p.m. So we're just finishing up here. They have a lot of tourist stalls selling all kinds of tchotchkes. Actually, I think a lot of these items, the clothes and the gifts and the souvenirs, are made in the local villages and then sent over here to sell to the tourists. I don't think it's the kind of thing that's actually made in China. I think it's made locally.
Now we are going to the Chinese village near the border of Myanmar.
All right, we're gonna go to Myanmar and then Jacob's gonna cross the border illegally. That's what you told me before, right? All right, let's go. We have officially made it as far north as you can go. Right behind me is the border to Myanmar. And you can see the soldiers here and the gate. They're very confused at me. I don't think they know what I'm doing. What I'm curious about is, while we've been standing here, a few people came in and out, and I'm curious if they're Thai going across the border or if they're Burmese coming over here. I don't know how it works. I don't know if they can officially do that or they just kind of let them do it if it's really lax up here. I don't really know how it works, but I'm not going to find out. We have arrived at RakThai. This is a Chinese-style village right next to the border to Myanmar. We just checked into our hotel, and boy, this hotel is a lot nicer than the other ones we've stayed at on this trip, where we were paying 500 or 600 baht a night for the other hotels. This one was 1,900 baht per night, which is about 55 or 60 US dollars. Let me give you a room tour. This is the view and the balcony. We've got a little table out here. Going into the room, it's pretty small, 2 beds. Let's see what the bathroom looks like.
Okay.
Not spectacular.
Be better.
Pretty basic. I think what we're paying for here though is the view. This place seems really popular with Thai people. I bet a lot of people from Bangkok make the trip up here for a weekend. We just came out to the street to go find some dinner, and we passed this shop here that sells, I don't know what you call this, dried fruit, or I don't know, it's like candy fruit. I don't know what it is, but it looks really good. And I'm trying to decide what to get. You can choose whatever. Oh yeah, it says the price right here. Like the strawberries, 100 grams is 35 baht. And I wasn't sure what to choose, but they have a tray right here, a sample tray. Not a bad spot for dinner. Just finishing up dinner, this restaurant was serving Chinese food. In fact, pretty much everything in this area is Chinese oriented. I wasn't sure if it had something to do with the history of this place, but the more I travel around here, the more I just think this whole village was set up to cater to Chinese tourists for whatever reason. I'm not sure why they would come here, what the initial attraction was, but it seems pretty apparent that it's set up now for Chinese tourists. Given the COVID situation, there are no Chinese tourists here. It's mostly Thai people. So I don't know, maybe Thai people like to experience Chinese things. Jakub and I have left RakThai and we are on our way to Pai. We've been driving for about an hour now, and we just stopped at this mountaintop viewpoint overlooking the valley. Now is probably a good time to talk about burning season. If you don't know, farmers in northern Thailand are known to burn their fields around every January to March in order to clear out the old crop and get ready for the coming year's growing season. Because of this, the air is filled with smoke almost every day, and it really depends on the weather and exactly where you are, but it's definitely not an ideal time to come, especially if you want to be out in the nature. Besides blocking the beautiful views, it's also very bad for your health to be breathing this every day. We are out here at the beginning of March, and for the first few days of our trip, it actually wasn't too bad at all. But I noticed today and yesterday, the air is very, very smoky and cloudy, and we're up on this big viewpoint and you can barely even see across the valley to the other mountains because it's so smoky. So if you can avoid it, it's best to come during a time that's not in the burning season, maybe November, December, or in late March or April. Alright guys, we have come to this nature reserve where they have this cave system, and for 250 baht per person you can have a guide that takes you through the cave. Actually, the guide is required. You have to have a guide in order to come in here, and so we just drove in a few minutes ago. We've got our guide. We walked down to the entrance of the cave, and now we're about to go in. I'm starting to get the feeling that we are not the target audience for this attraction.
Garlic.
Interesting name.
So far this tour has comprised of our guide pointing out all of the rock structures and what foods they look like. So far we have pancakes, we have popcorn. Any more food? Now we are getting on this small bamboo boat. I guess you call it a boat. It's more like a raft. I don't know. This is interesting. Can I grab it?
Yeah.
I'm hearing a high-pitched screeching sound, and I'm sort of hoping they're not bats, but I'm pretty sure they are. There are 3 caves here. We went in the first one, we walked by the second one, and now we're going up into the third one. It's a pretty steep climb. So we came up into the cave now, and we're probably about 150 feet up, climbing up all the stairs, and there is a wooden coffin here. The sign says it could be 1,000 to 2,000 years old. Whenever I see stuff like this, I'm a little skeptical because, Jacob, you know, sometimes I feel like it's possible they put things here to make tourist attractions. So I have no way of verifying if this is actually a 2,000-year-old coffin just lying in the top of this cave. But anyway, interesting to see. So the guy just told us that at 6 p.m. all the bats fly out of here. I don't know that we should be in a cave with a bunch of bats after COVID, because aren't like bats one of the main ways diseases spread? And there's bat shit all over this cave. And whenever we walk, we kick up the dust. So we're just basically breathing in bat shit dust this entire time we're in here. All right, so what did you think?
It was interesting, unique place.
It was interesting, and I've never been in a cave like that, but I don't like the whole like package tour thing. I feel like it's very vanilla. Like the guides take the same people through the same 8 steps every time. They point out like, oh, this one looks like popcorn, this one looks like a diamond. You make your lap, you get back in the boat, you go home. I like more just exploring on my own. I like the boat though. We've got about 40 kilometers left to Pai. Personally, I'm looking forward to getting there because I visited there once just for a few hours on a tour a few years ago, and it is a busier town, I think. So I think there'll be some interesting things to see, and I'm getting pretty exhausted, so I'd like to just find a nice hotel and just relax for the rest of the night. Anyway, on to the last leg. Alright guys, we have just gotten into Pai and checked into our hotel. Pai is really interesting. There's a lot of foreigners here, a lot more than I thought I would. I see a lot of backpackers. Jacob and I just found a hotel. They didn't have a room with 2 beds, so we got 2 separate rooms. It is 500 baht per room per night, which is pretty much been the going rate, except this time we have to pay for 2 rooms. But I will say that the actual inside of these hotel rooms are probably nicer than all of the other ones we've stayed at so far. Let me give you a look. So coming in, it is not super big, but it's got a cool Thai style, especially with the all the wood in the windows. I have a corner room, and I can see back into the little houses here where the locals live. There are a lot of roosters or chickens or something out there making a ton of noise. So anyway, let me show you the bathroom real quick. So the bathroom is nothing special. It's the Thai style bathroom where it's just like one big wet room, but it looks a lot cleaner than a lot of the other places we stayed on this trip, because to be honest, pretty much all the other hotels we stayed at were pretty disgusting, especially in the bathroom. There would just be mold everywhere, and this place honestly looks spotless. So I don't know if it's because they're used to dealing with foreigners in Pai more than some of the other places we went, but I really like this hotel room so far. If I was coming here for an extended period of time, like a week, a month, something like that, I would definitely consider this place from what I've seen so far. We have just come to this big white Buddha on a hill. I don't know what the actual Thai name is. I'll put it right here. It is sunset. We were the only ones here, and it is absolutely beautiful. This is the kind of peaceful stuff you can experience out in other parts of Thailand outside of Bangkok. Bangkok is so busy all the time. It's just like noise and motorcycles and tourists and drinking and bar girls, and then you come out here and there's nobody. But if you do choose to come out here, make sure you're in shape, or Thailand will help you with that. Because as I've said before, there are no elevators in Thailand. Only stairs. Lots and lots of stairs. There's actually quite a few people that came up here for sunset. And I can understand why, because this is an amazing viewpoint overlooking the city and the mountains. We just came back from the Buddha. Yeah, this whole street where our hotel is has a bunch of vendors and food stalls. So we're gonna walk around for a little while and see what we can find. What are you getting?
Just getting burger.
Burger? Veggie burger?
Yeah.
One thing I noticed immediately from only being in Pai for a few hours is because there are a lot more foreigners, the food options and the hotel options are way more abundant. Back in the other villages we were, it was pretty much strictly like local Thai food and maybe just one or two hotels that might not be super comfortable for foreigners. But now that we're here, there seems to be a lot of options for just about everything. How much was this?
50 baht.
We've been on the street for about 2 minutes and there are so many food options. So far, oh, how's it going?
Good.
What's your name? Where are you from?
From Poland.
Where are you from?
Poland. Here,
Yeah.
I'm training Kung Fu
Kung
for
Fu.
3 months.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Okay, cool. Is this for your OnlyFans?
Fresh.
Looking good.
Feel fresh.
You got the long sleeve shirt. How much did it cost?
It was 190.
190.
Yeah.
You got it down to 190.
Yeah.
I heard you negotiating.
Yeah. You have to.
So far, this is what I've gathered from Pai. If you like a city that's got a little more action going on than some of the other places we visited, you might like Pai. If you like meeting other international people from wherever, then you might like Pai. If you like having all different kinds of food, Western food, Thai food, American food, Chinese food, whatever, then you might like Pai. If you don't like any of those things, then you definitely will not like it here because it's very backpacker, like young tourist focused. There's a lot of cheap hotels, a lot of food targeted at like Western people, and they're selling like lots of touristy things like elephant pants and random bags that say I love Pai and all this kind of stuff. So totally up to you, depends on what you're into. Good morning, it is about 9 a.m. The air is nice and cool up here in the north. It's a lot different than Bangkok. Bangkok gets really hot really fast, but up here it stays cool for quite a part of the day. I just came across the street to this little cafe and ordered breakfast. I am so happy. They have a lot of Western food options. I just ordered French toast. Not that I don't like Thai food, but we've just been having it nonstop all week. And especially for breakfast, Thai food tends to be... Thai people basically eat the same thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's really no difference. And so it's nice to have like traditional American breakfast foods when you're out here sometimes. It makes you feel a little more comfortable, a little more at home. Okay, that was good. Now let's get on the bikes and hit the road. Just made it to the waterfall. It was about a 10-15 minute drive out of town, and we pulled up here and there is nobody here in the parking lot, which could either be a good thing or a bad thing. Jakub said maybe there's no water, but I think now we're in March, it rains a little more, so I think there'll be some water. Look at this situation. It's not a real Thailand experience unless there's a possibility you might die. I feel like they have their own little waterfall gang here. The kids were nice, but there isn't too much water here, so we're gonna go on to the next location. Good evening, guys. We spent the day hanging out. I was at a cafe getting some work done, and now it's about 5:30 p.m. It's sunset, and we drove out to this, I don't know what you call this. It's called the Bamboo Bridge. It's basically just a tourist attraction that's built on this farm. Thais get very creative on how to get people out here. Basically anything that can make a good Instagram photo will bring in tourists. So we just drove out here up the bumpiest road in all of northern Thailand. One of my favorite parts about traveling around the more rural areas is just the animals that you come across, especially because a lot of times they're not even fenced in, or they're just like tied up loosely to a tree or a post or whatever, and you can walk right up to them. Normally if the farmer or whoever is around, I'll ask them if it's okay. Like earlier on this trip there were some cows, and I just asked, and I went right up to them and was hanging out with them for a while. These guys look a bit more dangerous, so I think I'm gonna be a little more careful, but I love getting up close to these animals. Jacob, will you go down there and milk one for me? So we just walked to the far back of this farm complex, and there are these houses here, and we think there's a temple here. There are monks living here, and they live in the little houses right in this area. It's kind of freaky because I hear a baby crying, and the thing about monasteries and these temples is there's pretty much no women to my knowledge. And I think that sometimes if a baby is an orphan, if it doesn't have parents, or if the parents give the baby up, the baby can be taken in by the monks and raised from a really early age as a monk. So if you see a very young child as a monk, I think it's likely that their parents have either died or abandoned them, or something happened with the parents. I think we made a new friend. This dog has been following us the entire way back. I know I keep saying it, but I can't get over how peaceful it is out here. Even compared to the main town of Pai down there with all the tourists, it's so quiet up here. I don't even want to speak very loudly because you can hear people talking from a long ways away, and people actually live here, so want to try to be a little respectful at least. Anyway, we just finished up here. Now we're gonna head back into town and get some dinner. What are you getting here?
Getting a roti.
What is roti?
It's like a Thai pancake. Yeah, it's like a pancake. There's a banana and an egg inside.
This is what the Pai nightlife scene looks like. Not exactly Bangkok, but still probably a good time if you're visiting and you want to meet a lot of other foreigners. Alright guys, that is it for our trip around the Mae Hong Son Loop. We hope you enjoyed this video series. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to leave us a comment or a suggestion for the next time, leave it down below. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next adventure.